Hey, Chapel Hill family, this is Kara Taylor, your Global Outreach Coordinator. And last week we heard from our friend Beth Burgess about how her trip to Thailand and the House of Blessing with the children of prisoners and ministry to those who are incarcerated made such a change in her life and led to a relationship here at WCCW. So this week we're going to hear from some of the friends in Thailand that I just spoke with. I'll share snippets of that conversation, but I also want to issue an invitation to consider why we are in these partnerships. Yes, we're helping, but also we're learning from them, especially in a time of crisis. Most of our global partners are experts at helping one another in such a time. And we also can offer mutual encouragement. It's a huge encouragement every time I speak with our friends abroad. And a big part of my job is also to invite you into that life-giving relationship. A lot of our traditional ways of doing that are not available to us now. You can't join a team to cross the world to Thailand. Our team that was just supposed to go needed to postpone. So what we're doing instead is inviting you into virtual visits, and we will regularly have Zoom meetings with our partners, not just the ones that you've seen with me and a couple others, but these will be open to the congregation. So be looking for that invitation and schedule to see what kinds of people are on your heart that you want to pray for and become friends with. And then let's see what God does. So listen in on my conversation with Laurie and Mint and hear what God has to teach us through them.
Yeah. And I just take my mask off. It's actually a mask sent to me by my friend in the prison here in Washington State, but fabric donated by all of you, I believe many of you in the community of Good Harbor and Chapel Hill. So thank you. She can't keep this kind of decorative, but it's been a great encouragement for the women inside the prison. So thank you very much. Thank you, Chapel Hill, and just for me, it's my home church, but it's like my home is now online. So Pete and I watch from Okinawa. We look forward to every Sunday, and I want to introduce you to Mint. Yes. That's her nickname. Full name is
Sukanya is my full name.
But anyway, she is my future daughter-in-law, but also the daughter of Ortai, who's been working with. We set up a foundation in Thailand called Ban Rak to be the partner. And the heart of Thai Christian Foundation has really started with a heart to share the gospel using Thai culture through art, really drama and music. My mom and dad were missionaries in Thailand. Laytongku is down in the Karen area. You can see this shirt is Karen. And where Mint and her mom take care of is the Wa, the northern part of Thai border. She looks after the patient care there, and the COVID situation is making it really, really hard for us because with Laytongku, we have a health center there and the church is there, and they haven't been able to worship. They're just starting now. This Sunday, they'll have their first worship in the church. Wow. We also just got word the head man is really interested in receiving Jesus. But then when things closed down, they couldn't follow up. And what we got word yesterday on our Monday morning meetings was that church can start and they're going to be able to meet again to continue that journey of what his faith and.
But after COVID, so everything is just shut up and I cannot go there, and the patient cannot come. We just contact with like online.
We all health doesn't have borders. It's borderless.
We all know this now more than ever.
Close it off and wall it. We have to work together. And I've seen that in Laytongku. Has been quite amazing to see that joint effort. And we can build off of this, I think.
Everything like go down because my father is driving.
Van service.
Okay.
Oh, van, yeah.
Actually, he picked up the Chapel Hill team once who came to Laytongku, Pastor Megan and Julie, and drove them from the airport. That's her father.
6 months already, so he doesn't have any income and gets stressed. Everyone in Thailand also like this because no income, stay at home and work. But some people like have to quit a job because employer The employer doesn't pay or no.
When it first hit, it was scary for people, and everything just kind of shut down. And so they initially, House of Blessing didn't even have people able to deliver food. There was not the system broke down. And so they were kind of praying and going, what are we going to do? How are we going to feed all the kids now? They've got, I think, over 75 kids now. And a lot of, have people coming out of prison all the time still. Sentences don't stop in COVID. You're still releasing people, and people need help. And so they were concerned. Pastor Suntorn reached out, please pray. And then over time, as Thailand got a better handle and started, things started to open up again, and then they got this abundance of people giving and offering, that they were then able to go out and take what they've gotten and give to others, and started organizing that way. And their church is still going, and every Sunday you can see it online.
I've been watching them.
Yeah.
Great.
So Nelda, who is she's a Filipino missionary who's really helped them for many, many years, has had glaucoma surgery. So hopefully that will recover. So on the other side of it, the prisons in Thailand also were very, very concerned. If COVID gets into a prison, it's the worst. It's like nursing home or anywhere where there's confined, or military barracks, or where people are inside, can't move, and there's no space. Now they've just started going back in again to do their worship. Their churches, in about every prison, has a prison women's church, or men's too. And they've been able to do correspondence. So during COVID, they were able to send in packages so the women could do Bible studies together. And then they would send them back. Prison did that for them, right, as a liaisoning between the two, because normally the House of Blessing would go in every week to a different prison and bring all those materials and take things back. And so now, I think in some parts, what it means to people, and Pastor Sundhorn will tell you, the hope. Before people were going into the prison like this, and the work of Pastor Sundhorn, and especially in the women's prison, was depression, serious problems with depression and suicide. And after church began to grow in there, and the sharing between the inside and the outside, and the children, looking after the children, there's just become this, and of course Thailand's very strong movement to be part of establishing some best practice standards for how do you treat prisoners, and how do you help families, and that they weren't doing that very well before about 2010. And since then, it's just been this opening for that, and with the sharing of the love, right, and the love of God through music, through devotion, through prayer, and that's just going. And they're really hoping for more connectivity, and they're still really want to come here. I'm still in touch with all the directors. They were looking forward to it. They were like, just to be with people. Because I thought initially I'd put them up in like a hotel or something. There are all these high-level Thai government officials like, no, we want to stay with real Americans.
That's us, I guess.
We want to just learn. We want to just immerse. So in May, this woman comes to the clinic, and we have the public health little outpost has Wi-Fi. So the nurse there was able to send pictures. We have a Facebook Laytongku Community Health Center page, and I was in Japan, and I get these pictures of this woman who just, her arm looks really bad. And I message say, hey, we've got these funds that Chapel Hill sends and supports the work in Laytongku, and I said, whatever it takes, get her to the hospital. They were able to get the car, and then they got to get through these checkpoints, this refugee camp. And then they made more COVID checkpoints where they check your temperature and your papers. Now this lady from Burma has no papers, and her daughter came to assist her and has no papers. So it was a very difficult, prayerful touch, go. Today, from the same community health worker in Laytongku, Kanyase, the nurse there, that she was good, and she had been healed and was now back at Laytongku Health Center and ready to go home.
It's better if it come together like healthy and faithful in the church.
It's really encouraging to see how God can work across and through this very challenging time, but how faithful God is, and how wonderful it is for all the people who are attentive to that too. The real plan was to get married in Thailand in January 2021, and they were thinking, well, maybe we should just get married now. On the 25th, we will have the wedding near Mount Rainier.
Yes, it's come earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, and bad times still have good news, good things happen.
It's been really hard. I would have to say for myself, who's normally in the field and able to go, I cannot do. And I have to trust God to encourage me to do something a different way, and being patient in that, but very active at the same time. I'm learning new ways to continue the ministry and the mission, and understand the risk, what risks we are willing to be able, how we take them, and how we pull back if we have to, and how we do that as a team across all the different ministries. So in a lot of ways, being able to communicate through and building better skills has allowing us to be better team all over different projects, all over Thailand. I think my other greatest concern was my parents, because I can't get there if something happened to them. You know, Dad is turning 91 and Mom is 88, and I can't get to Thailand if there was a crisis. And I felt for people here, you can't get to your loved ones, and that's not normal. That's not what we. And so I think working through that, to understand that together as a world, this is global, globally happening to everyone. We have the opportunity to establish a stronger global connection through this, and I believe that.
For me, is feel like this human planned, but we want to make sure that what's kind of God planned. So want you to pray for